It's Sunday, June 14th, and the bride and I are out, and these are the garlic plants, the German hardies. And if you'll notice, there are scapes coming up, which are little flower shoots, which you want to take off. Otherwise, the plants will throw energy to the flowers, and we want them into the bulbs. So you cut them off, and they retain garlicky flavor. So you can cut them off and use them for dinner, and that's what the doc will do.
You can put them on a salad.
And
you can put them, you can cook with them, saute with them, just like you would scallions or garlic.
So there you go. So a little bit of harvest, and some of the...
So we'll use 3 on our salad tonight.
Good. And so some of the garlic also are getting a little brown tipped. Now garlic will poop out sometime by August. They run for 9 months. You plant them in October, they poop out by August, and so maybe we'll do an extra planting here. But you're starting to brown up a little bit. So we've got another, month or so to go for garlic, and so the doc will come through and de-scape these things. We're seeing some scapes also over on the chestnuts, and she'll zap those too, or I will shortly. These are the onion, and they're all kind of flopping over a little bit, but they're also growing a lot. I don't know if that's really doing the whole photosynthesis thing when you get that many bendy ones, but that's the situation with the onion. And the dill will soon take over the garden. And peas have been a bit of a disappointment this year, we think, in terms of
but we
volume.
Do have a flower.
You do have a flower. Oh, there's a little flower there at last. But the peas, maybe I don't know if we put them in too late or what we did.
I think it was cool. It was too cool in May.
In May. All right. So the bride weeded this whole area, and so Alyssa Craig were the onions behind us, and now we'll go to this Patterson storage onions, and they are exhibiting a similar phenomena of, bent over leaves, but I think that's normal. I think that's too long, and the structure isn't that strong, so they flop over. Did you want to talk about the tomatoes, or you want me just to go ahead and talk about tomatoes? Okay, so tomatoes, after much research, figured out the proper way to tie these, and we're using cloth, and we went to the famous Barbara Damrosch book, Truth in All Things, and it's supposed to be like a little figure 8 between your support and your plant. And so a number of the plants got old t-shirts, cut up old t-shirts, and we're not quite to the second wire on some of these. These are the cherries that came from seed, but they're, considering what they looked like just a few weeks ago. What's that?
I took the suckers off.
And she took the suckers off, and that means the suckers are the things that come between the main branch and the vertical branch and this one. And in New England, you take out the suckers because they really don't have time to mature enough to give you plants. If you were in the South, you might leave them in, but up here you take them out, and we are getting little flowers, thank goodness, from these guys. And I think these 2 are also the cherry type tomatoes. And up to the second wire, and all these guys, seeing ties, the way, figure 8 ties, and also some more flowers there, which is cool. And I think these are the supersonics here. Are these the supersonics? Which ones are these? I can't remember now. I gotta look it up. And the 2 Romas, which, though determinate, are going up. A fun fact, determinate tomatoes tend to lay in their fruit all at once and move a little bit quicker than the indeterminate types. Indeterminates will fruit for a while, but in the shorter growing season in New England, that ain't that long. Maybe down south. And so here are the Wisconsins. All seem to be thriving, even our little Wisco's coming along. So back over to the other determinants. These are the Defiance, and we got to water these extra because of the raised bed, as we mentioned. So every time we have been very dry the past a few weeks. Right, we've been very dry the past few weeks. So every couple or 3 days, I'll hit the broadcast. What do they call it? The watering sprinkler. Jesus, enjoy your youth, everyone. The sprinkler, but this corner doesn't get hit too much, so we'll hand water these. Now here we have the butternut squashes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it turns out over on the second bed, these two far ones are also butternuts, and these are zucchinis, and the zucchinis seem to be enjoying the current situation more than the butternuts, but those are the zucchinis. So that's your main garden update, vegetable garden update, June 14th, 2020.